Yayo! EPs, not PE, especially not ED. You see them everywhere, from every artist across every genre. These little bundles of songs that all came together to make a thing. They're like those game demo discs. Not too much, just a taste. But what even are these things? Why do they even exist? And how far have people taken it? Well, in this video, we're gonna go into these things and come out smaller? Small bite, if you will. And if at any point you end up enjoying this video, then just demo disc that subscribe button for me. It would mean a ton. Anyways, let's get into this. Enjoy! Listen, EPs are usually really short, so I'm gonna make this video as short as possible. EPs, or extended plays, are kind of funky. They're in this weird spot of technically being a project, but it's not a big deal, unless it is. Like, you'll never see someone push their EP like an album. Okay, it's happened before, but it's not the norm. In America, because it turns out over in Korea South Edition, they got these things called mini LPs or mini albums, which are like EPs that have around 6 to 7 songs on them, but are pushed like albums. Lots of K-pop bands do these, and I mean, Kanye did it for that 7 mini album run he had back in 2018. Not even 2 minutes in, and we're already getting cultural. God damn it. Apparently the States had them a lot in the 70s. They'd use them for like jukeboxes and stuff. Okay, we're not looking at these. These EPs, the ones you know, were made up centuries ago, back in the 50s, and are like mini compilations of songs that artists put together to give you something to snack on most of the time while you wait for their bigger project. Back in the day, they were made as cheaper alternatives to get your music out, and serves as a way to give you a small glimpse into the world of the artist, how they do things, their production style, and just their general vibe.
And now, the vibes.
They could also serve as an update thing, showing where one is musically at the moment, and might be used as an in-between between albums. If Project A and Project B sound really different, there could be something in the middle you're missing to bridge that gap. But how do you know if something is an EP or not? Where's the line in the sand? Well, you can usually tell by the number of songs, having more songs than a single, but not enough to make an album. That's usually what I go by, or just see what Spotify says. In my mixtapes video, I mentioned how those could be where you hear someone for the first time in their mixtape. But if I'm being honest, that's kind of just for hip-hop, because almost everybody else in this party is shaking it up this way. Rap never really got the memo. That's not to say hip-hop doesn't have EPs. Just off the top, DMX and Skepta have some, and Canadian artist Roy Woods blew up from his. But for pretty much everyone else, this is the way that artists put their first stuff out. There's a couple reasons why, but one of the main ones is that it's easier to get attention from labels or new listeners this way. Listen, I'm running off that TikTok attention span now. Why listen to a 45-minute hugga hugga mixtape when this thing is only 15 minutes and comes with a free toy at the end? But alright, let's look at some specific EPs, man. Before releasing the Slim Shady LP in '99, Eminem released the Slim Shady EP, which was the birth of his alter ego. Rock band 9 Inch Nails released their EP Broken in '92, moving from the synth pop sound of their debut album to the more industrial metal sound they'd bring to the top. That ended up going platinum in the US and even reached number 7 on the Billboard 200. Pretty cool feat, but that would be broken just 2 years later when the grunge band Alice in Chains would make history with their EP Jars of Flies in '94, becoming the first EP ever to debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200. And they held that spot for almost 10 years straight, but got company when Jay-Z and Linkin Park, of all things, would team up with MTV to release a remix EP titled Collision Course in '04, mashing up songs from Linkin Park's and Jay-Z's albums that also debuted at number 1. These really cover every genre. Electronic artists love to crank these out. Skrillex, Madeon, my boy Danger, this dude named Chrome Sparks I really love. Sometimes you get remix EPs, artists giving their songs to others, they make a bunch of remixes, then slap them together on an EP. Modern R&B artists like Her, Aquilo, and TDE Sir would lay the foundation for their careers through EPs they release. Same goes for general indie artists too. Some EPs are done for promotional purposes. iTunes did these things called iTunes Sessions, a series of live EPs where artists would come do a couple of their songs, and Apple would put it exclusively on iTunes. Kinda like Tiny Desk concerts, but old. A lot of artists did these, there's probably one you know. And finally, sometimes an EP is put on as a bonus for box sets or tours or something. In 1976, Stevie Wonder released his 18th studio album Songs in the Key of Life. 18 albums, damn! And with it included a bonus EP which had 4 extra songs on it. That wasn't really seen before. Fun fact, the 8th song on this album, Pastime Paradise, is actually the sample to Coolio's hit Gangsta's Paradise, and I guess by proxy the sample for the Amish one too. Wow, sounds like I'm praising these things non-stop. And I am. But here's the twist you're never gonna see coming. I think EPs are just okay. On one hand, it's always cool to get new music from an artist. Some even treat them super serious like we saw. Making an album takes time. You gotta craft it, promote it, send it off to the gods to see if it'll sell well. But EPs are quick, cheap, and easy. Most of the time, it's songs being made that are good enough to share but don't fit anywhere. And unlike bonus tracks on albums, these usually are not throwaways. A lot of them actually have thought put into them before they get to you. But that's the thing, they're mini projects, meaning that more often than not, since these songs are out, you run into cases of them never landing on a future project, forever locked behind an EP. And since they don't get that push from labels, if you miss that initial drop, you might just never hear them. Couple that with an artist that loves to pump these out, and finding that specific song you're looking for and where it's from now becomes a military op. It's really easy for your discography to get confusing, but that's only a problem for like legacy acts. Or how about those ones where they put the best stuff on the EP and it's nowhere to be found on the album? Like, are you making fun of me? Or how about when an artist's best thing is the EP? I'm so sorry, Majid. You guys gotta get out of there. And what really justifies as an EP anyways? It feels like they slap it on anything. Like I mentioned, the official definition is more songs than a single, but less than an album. But the way people use it, it seems like it's just how they're feeling that day. Singles usually have 1 or 2 songs, but I've seen some with 3 or even 4. Are those an EP? An R&B artist, Party Next Door, released his first project in 2013. It's got 10 songs on it. Ben Tennyson. All my life, I thought this was a mixtape, but I guess I'm a f***ing idiot? It has more songs than Thriller, and that's an album. And don't even get me started on Kraftwerk, you 4-song and a movie-looking motherfuckers. Wow, these Pink Floyd projects are only 5 songs long. This should be quick. Boom, just like this video. Told you it was a quickie. For me, I think an EP is 3 to 6 songs. Anything after 7, you're kind of pushing it. Why am I talking like they're listening to me? Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you haven't already, and check out my video on iTunes if you haven't already. It's the one before this one you're watching. That story's crazy. Or you can watch my mixtapes video I mentioned here. They're both solid.
Package for Mr. Bites?
Ugh. The video's not over? No, you don't get to see what's in this package. Get out of here. Get